Good morning. In the United States, one of the customs in a lot of families is the whole Christmas custom and lying, parents lying to their kids, the grandparents lying to their kids about Santa and this whole elaborate story. And at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, the kids start to add up. Like, wait a minute, that's that's mom's handwriting, that's dad's handwriting. Like, things just aren't adding up, and they start figuring out that the lie is a lie, right? And they're like, and then I remember my personal story of remembering this and coming to this conclusion in about 8, 9, 10. I forgot the exact year, and how disappointed I was when I found out that it was one big conspiracy and everyone was in on it. And like, wait a minute, these are the people I trust, and they're lying to me. And that was a real big shake for me. And that sets us up, by the way, for what's to come in the world. So I'm not going to get into all of the other stuff, but I'm going to say this. At the end of this past weekend, I just made a choice and said, oh yeah, I'm not going to eat this week. And think about that. Like, there's very few people, it's a small percentage of people that have ever missed a meal. So think about this. Where and who and how did we figure out that breakfast, lunch, and dinner was mandatory and a necessity? And if you step back and this is just one thing to plant the Santa isn't real thing for you, step back and look at the grand scheme of things. Everything is money related. Follow the money and see. What's one of the largest industries in this world? Food. Food. What does food want us to do? They want us to chew on food like cows chew on food all day. They want us eating while we're driving, eating while we're walking, eating all the time, snacking, eating, and all that. That's their goal. The more we eat, the more money that huge, largest industry in the world earns and makes. And if you look deeper into that whole food world, that's a whole nother, multiple layers of being peeled back of lie after lie. Anyhow, Sunday, I just said, you know what? I'm not eating this week. And to me, that's not a big deal because I've done so many fasts and things like that. But for many people, it's a big deal to say, oh, I'm going to skip breakfast, or I'm going to skip lunch, or I'm going to skip dinner. One meal is a big deal to a lot of people. Why? Because when we were little, not only did the Santa Claus programming come in, but the breakfast, lunch, dinner program. You're a bad parent if you don't give your kids breakfast, lunch, dinner. Well, I would have you step back and ask yourself, what about this? If our body is our vehicle, and okay, what's another vehicle? Our car. If we have a full tank in our car, just because it's the morning, midday, or evening, are we supposed to go to the gas station and put more fuel in and let the fuel just fall out of the car and onto the street? Well, it's time to put fuel in the car. Yeah, but it's already full. But it's time to put the fuel in. So let me put the fuel in. And it's, I'm supposed to put 5 gallons in the morning and 5 gallons in the midday and 5 in the evening. But it's already full. So that similar type of thing, if you think back, imagine your body is a vehicle. Your body will tell you when it is ready to be fueled, what it wants to be fueled by. And it's not the processed stuff. It's not the crap stuff. It's going to tell you it wants the vegetables. It wants the fruits. It wants the healthy stuff. When you detach and you separate yourself from the norm. And the old adage, and I teach this to my kids, if everybody's going that way and you catch yourself going that way, you need to be like, uh-oh, whoa, I'm in the herd. I'm going something's wrong. If I'm going in the way everybody's going, something's wrong. Stop and recorrect yourself and make sure you're living your life by your terms. So just think about that. Have you ever just out of the blue said, you know what, I don't want to eat. I'm not going to eat this week. And by the way, there's no big parade. I'm not having a sign. I'm not making it a big deal. It's just something I do. So I haven't eaten since late Sunday afternoon and feeling amazing. And what you will find when you go down this path is it saves multiple hours per day of having to figure out what you're going to eat, preparing it, eating it, and also sitting in the bathroom, TMI possibly, but that saves multiple hours per day that can be reinvested into other areas. So it's something to consider. So I do have a group on Facebook, and you get invited to it if you go to the URL 3dayapplefast.com. 3dayapplefast.com. That's an introduction to fasting. And it's an amazing process that I actually found out back in 1993 from studying Edgar Cayce. And it's basically you eat nothing but apples and water for 3 days. And it's a detoxification process. But more importantly, it takes you out of the matrix of your old patterns and habits, and it opens up all the possibilities to say, wait a second, if I can control this and take ownership of this, what other areas of my life can I get out of default and start living by intention? Lead a life by design, not by default. And it begins with the one thing that we all have in common. We all fuel this body. We call it eating. And when you break away from the trained programming way and you recognize that this is your vehicle, this is, by the way, your $1 billion, if not $1 trillion vehicle. Yeah, we got Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces and all that stuff for the vehicles that are expensive. We got the jets that are, 10, 20, $50 million. We got that type of stuff. We got the yachts for $100 million, $500 million yachts. The body blows them all away. You wouldn't treat any of those vehicles like crap. Yet, this body, this $1 billion, trillion body, a lot of people neglect. A lot of people don't step back and say, whoa, this is my $1 trillion freaking vehicle. I'm going to treat it right. And part of treating it right is detaching from the programming and finding out what fuels your body properly. And when you do that and you go through the 3-day apple fast, it'll open your eyes to huge possibilities. This is the elite type of stuff that I talk with my clients that are doing tremendous level results. And this is the ultimate life hack. When you intentionally eat, instead of out of boredom, out of routine, out of habit, out of procrastination, you eat intentionally, that changes the game. You save hours a day, and your body is now going to be that high performance vehicle. Your version of it. We have each individual VIN numbers, right, of our $1 billion, trillion thing. So at the beginning of this week, just spontaneously, oh, by the way, I'm not eating this week. And there's no willpower. There's no hungering or hangering. Like, oh man, I wish, or I'm jealous of that person. No, I just chose to not eat this week. It's a really amazing thing. So it starts with 3-day apple fast. Go to 3dayapplefast.com, the number 3dayapplefast.com. You'll be brought into the Facebook group and you'll see huge amounts of people experimenting with it, seeing the huge benefits, and having it change their life and change their results by taking control of that one thing. Leads to intentionally eating and intentionally living in all other areas. So be you fully, unapologetically. Have an awesome day. I got an important call coming up soon. Talk with you soon. Make today great. We'll see you inside 3-Day Apple Fast. Go to 3dayapplefast.com. We'll see you inside that group. Make today great.